Hi, I'm Callum from Tyne Valley Motorhomes, and today I'm going to be showing you your handover on your Auto Trail Tracker RB.
That's going off, man.
To hook the vehicle up, use the hooker blade, lift the flap, lift the vehicle, flap and slide on. To unhook, press the blue lever and pull the hookup cable off. We always suggest that you hook the vehicle up first, then the sight, so you're not walking around with a live lead if it is a wet, dull day. Underneath, you have your wastewater. So this is all the water you've used. So your dishes water, your hand-based water and your sink water. To empty this, normally on a site you drive over the motorhome service grid, which will be marked wastewater, and there's a lever on the side, and just allow the van to drain. Once it has been drained, travel with it open, because the camber of the road will rock the van, which will allow any loose water that's still in the tank to drain. And when winterising, you must drain all the water out the van, which includes the waste and the fresh and the boiler, which I'll go into in a moment. Here are your fridge belts. So in the winter there are covers that clip onto here, so they just clip on, and then there's two clips at the bottom that you just use a screwdriver and tighten up. You can then use the fridge with the covers on, as it just protects the element.
That's quite cool, isn't it?
Coming down to behind the rear driver's wheel, you have your external shower, which works when the pump in the van is on. So use the fitting, push it on. You then can select hot or cold on here with the diagram above, and use the trigger gun, which is good for the bikes, dogs, wellies. To hook the vehicle up, use a hooker blade, lift the lever, slide it flat on top of the hooker point on the vehicle and push on. To unhook, use the blue lever here and slide off. Always hook the vehicle up first, then the sight point, as we don't want you walking around with a live lead if it's wet. Underneath you've got your waste water, so that you'd normally drive over a grate called the motorhome service bay on the way out of a site, and use the lever on the side to drain. We do advise you leave this open when travelling, as the motion of the van will rock the tank and any loose water will come out when travelling. Coming down, you've got the two fridge vents. So there's two covers that clip on, and then you've got two clips at the bottom that just require a screwdriver to turn. They're for the winter covers. So in the winter you put them on just to protect the elements of the fridge. Coming back behind the driver's rear wheel, you've got your external shower point. So a bull nose shower point goes in there, and then you can turn it from off to hot and get the temperature right of the shower. You must have the pump on inside the van on the control panel, which I'll show you in a second. But the external shower is good for hosing off the dogs, the boots, the wellies, the bikes, the kids. Above is your freshwater intake. So this is where you would fill the van with fresh water. So use the round key, which also works on the habitation door, but it is central locking on this model. Put it in, you can lock it and unlock it, and then simply push in and turn. Get a hose pipe. We do advise that carry hose pipe with you with some hose lock connections, as it's just a brass tap on site. Put it in, fill it up until it overflows, or you can see the indication of the level in your tank on the main control panel. If you are while camping, you will have to travel with a full tank of water. If not, tend to only travel 20 litres to stop and use the toilet or have a cup of tea, as this improves the weight and the fuel consumption of the van. Coming down here, you've got the drain off for your fresh water. So you filled up here, you want to empty here, simply turn and it will drain the fresh water. So in the winter you want to open your waste and your fresh and get all the water out the van, as it water being left in the van over the winter months, or if it's in storage, you don't want the water because it will go stagnant. But definitely in the winter months, it will freeze in the tanks and pipes and can cause a bit of damage, so please let it all out. And leave it open when you're travelling home. Like I said, with the motion of the van going down the road, it will, any loose water will just make its way out of the tank. Coming back here, this is your storage underneath your rear bed on your tracker RB. You've got your water pump underneath there, you've got your carpet, your auto winding handle, and your main Truma boilers in there. So in the winter you don't want the 10 litres of water that this holds to freeze. So simply use the winter drain tap, put it up like so, and the water will cascade underneath the van. Leave it open when winterising, as this will drain all the water off. When coming to reuse it, lie it back down, and then you can fill the van up with water, put the pump on, and this will then fill the vehicle back up, and the boiler. Back here you've got your Truma vent cover. So when on gas, when heating the van on gas or water, this cover must come off. On electric and when travelling it can stay on. So simply push down, put your finger on, peel it off, and this allows the vent and the emissions to come out. If not, it will fail when this is on, so this indicates that this is being left on. When travelling, you can pop that back on. Coming around the rear of the vehicle, you've got your high level brake light and reverse camera. You've got your bumper bar, tow bar, and 7-pin electrics if you are planning on towing anything. And to operate your ladder, use the little key here, pop in the side. This will then push the lock and barrel out. You can then slide the ladder down and get onto your roof for cleaning or any maintenance. And then that just locks back. So under here is your spare wheel, so this opens with the small key. Pop in here, turn, and then loosen this off, and your full spare wheels underneath there, or if you ever get a puncture. Coming round, you've got your external barbecue point, so this is a gas outlet point for your barbecue Kadak. So use the bullfinch connection, put it in there, get some Jubilee clips and some gas hose and connect it to your gas appliance. Coming round to the passenger side of the vehicle, you've got your gas outlet point, so this is where you would connect your external Kadak or barbecue. So you'd use the bullfinch connection here, get 2 Jubilee clips and some gas pipe and connect to your Kadak or gas barbecue. This will then run off your main gas bottles on board the vehicle. You've got your awning up here. This is your cassette toilet hatch, so you lock a hatch. So to release the toilet, make sure the slide on the toilet is shut, otherwise the cassette won't come out. Lift the orange handle, this will then slide out. You've then got some wheels to wheel it across the site when full instead of carrying it. But to empty, simply take the cover off, press the orange button here and tip down your waste disposal point on site. If you do require it to be in for cleaning, you can lift the slide and turn the lever there. Once you've emptied it, there is a tap. Put a little bit of water in, give it a good shake, loosen any of the dirt and tip out. When applying your liquid, this is your measuring stick, or if you are using the tablets, which are like dishwasher tablets, put a pint of water in here, push it back in the vehicle, and then drop one straight down the toilet. This will then lock with the same round key that does your other lockers. When clicking the main key, you've got your carb, locks all the doors, and then you've got your back door which opens your habitation door, and your step does come out. You have got a switch inside to operate the step as well. It then does have a full blackout blind and fly screen on the habitation door. This is where your gas bottles live, so your gas locker. So this opens with the same small round key. And then underneath you've got gas low on this vehicle. So to turn on, simply turn the orange knobs, then you've got a plus and a minus, and you've also got a gauge on the top there which indicates how full it is. So you've got 2 11 gas bottles on there. And this is where you would fill, so take the lever off, go to your LPG local station, put it on. It's a Bonnet fitting. You would then turn the front of the gun and pull the lever on the trigger. It'll then fill until it won't fill anymore.
It's a young and it's one no one.
After your gas flow system there, you've got this is where you fill the vehicle with diesel. So to operate, put your main ignition key in, turn, and then you can then fill the vehicle with diesel. And a lock. On the slam panel on the passenger door, here you have your tyre pressure, so you've got 5.5 bar front and back, which is 79.5 psi. Underneath the passenger seat is your toolkit. So this is everything to change a wheel, be towed, and it's got a screwdriver. So it's got a jack and a brace, a tone eye, and a screwdriver in there. And under your carb mat here, and under that cover is your main engine battery. With it being a Fiat, it's underneath the floor, but it does have a jump starting point underneath the bonnet. And while we're on, you've got your bonnet release, which is here. And then your secondary catch is just above your auto trail badge here. And then once inside the vehicle, so you've got your weight plate when it was a Fiat chassis cab, your secondary conversion weight by auto trail with your chassis number on there, so it's 4250, and with that tow bar on you can pull up to 5.5 ton, which is the vehicle and the item you are towing. So a car, trailer, you can't pull any more that exceeds 5.5 ton. You've got front and back axle weights. Under this cover here, which you're required to put a screwdriver or key in if it's locked, is your positive jump start, and under here is your earthen block. On the front there as well, you've got to operate your main control panel over here. Press the on button. This will either give you 240 if you are hooked up, or 12 volt if not, which will just be running off your leisure battery. Next to it you have the vehicle switchover selection, which means you can then run the back end of the motorhome, so the leisure side of the engine battery, but we don't advise that as it will kill the engine battery and you may not be able to start the engine. Below you have the water pump, so make sure there's enough water in and then turn that on to surface your exterior shower, your toilet, and your sink and kitchen area. Next to it you have your awning lights. This is the light on the outside of the vehicle, which is good if you're sitting underneath the awning on a dusk night, or you've gone for a walk and you want to see where the van is when coming back. Next to it, on this side, you've got these arrows which scroll through the main selection. So in there it's saying you've got 50% fresh water, 0% waste, the current amperage coming off the leisure battery, solar, we're hooked up at the moment, so the solar goes to sleep. If not, that will kick in. The external temperature, the tank heater's off, so in the winter you want to put them on. To put them on, use the arrow that's pointing the opposite way, turn them on, and then put current through your main tank to stop your water from freezing, and then you turn them off. The clock, so you can set the clock which displays on the display panel. The alarm, so if you want an alarm set to catch a ferry or anything, you can program this, so this will start beeping at a certain time to wake you up. So you can turn the alarm on or off by pressing this button, and then you can set an event timer, and then that is just the AC 300 unit. Coming to this side, this is your Truma boiler on gas, and your boiler on gas for heating your water, and your ultra heat for heating the van on 230 electric. So coming to this side, so this is heating your water on gas. You must take the cover off, which I've been through, and then to use it, off in the middle, 50 degrees of hot water, or 70 degrees at the bottom, and you'll hear it click in there. This light here is just your light, so this is your light around the front of the van, so this is your entrance light. And then coming to this side, you've got off by the O, got 2000 at the top, so that's 2 kilowatts of heating on electric. And then you've got your 1 to 9 being about 30 degrees, so this is your thermostat. And then if you do have to turn it down, being abroad, or you're drawing too much current and you're tripping the vehicle out, you can turn your heating down to 0.5 kilowatt, which is 500, or 1000, which is 1 kilowatt. But normally in this country you just use 2 kilowatts, which is 2000. To operate your Dometic fridge, turn the fridge on, like so, and then you have your 3 source selection. So you've got your main power, so when hooked up, the plug indicates you are, put that on if you are on main electric hookup, which is 230 volts. You've got your gas, so if you're wild camping, you just press your gas and it self-ignites. And then you've got your battery setting, which fails because the engine's not running at the moment. This is designed to keep the temperature of the fridge the same when the engine is running. So what you do there is you hook the van up the night before you go away, put your shopping in, and then the following morning all your shopping should be nice and cool. When you're ready to hit the road, just put it on the battery setting, and then what you can do is, no matter if you drive half an hour or 7 hours or longer, your shopping should remain at the same temperature it was. It's basically like a cool box setting. And then next to it, coming to this side, you've got your temperature. So this is your temperature, all the lights being the coldest. And then if you do get a warning light, you can reset the fridge there. Coming into the fridge, you've got your removable freezer compartment. And when winterizing or not using the van, it's better to clean the fridge out and then to leave it open, instead of having something in the way to stop the moisture and get some air and stop the mold and things. Just slide this forward, and then this will stop the door from closing on itself fully, allowing air around the seal. To operate your full oven, so this is your hob. You've got 3 gas, 1 240 electric hot plate when hooked up. To operate your gas rings, got one there, one there, and that's your 3 gas rings away on gas. And then for your electric hot plate, it's one closest to the carb, and then you'll get a red light on which indicates it's on. Put your grill, so hold it in and allow the thermocouple to get warm once it's lit before releasing, and then it'll stay lit. And you've got your oven, so you've got your oven light there next to your spark igniter, and your oven's lit there. Good tip is to take your grill pan and oven shelf out while travelling, or wrap them up, as these tend to make the most noise when on the road. Below your oven, you've got this push panel, so if you just push that in, you've got your 240 plug for your hot plate, which is in the corner there, just here, and you've got some storage. In here are your gas taps. So down here, this is for isolating each appliance. but they are mainly for when we service, or whoever services the van, the technician drop tests each appliance to make sure the gas is safe. And then you've got some drawer space there, this one being your cutlery drawer. Your cover for your sink. If you want to store this away, it stores underneath the microwave neatly. Slide that in. And then your microwave is only a 240 microwave, so you must be hooked up, and to wake that up, just press eco, and then your microwave is ready to use. You've got the plug there for your microwave, so if you ever need to change it or isolate it, there's the plug there to do so. Rack for your plates and storage for your cups. Coming down here to the light switches, the switch at the top is a dimmer switch which dims these lights here, so you can have them on or off, or you can press and hold and they will dim down. And then you have your main light for underneath your worktops. Taps there, and your hot water, lovely and hot there. Coming behind the kitchen, you've got your wardrobe area with large storage, and underneath you have your Truma fire. So to heat the van on gas, this is where you do so. So heating your water on gas is above the door. To heat the actual van on gas is here on the front of the fire. So what you do is make sure your gas is turned on, push and hold, and then you'll hear the roll there, and that's it fired up, and you can see in that hole there the gas flame, like so. So that's your gas side. This side is the 12 volt assisted fan. So you've got 1 to 5, which is your fan speed, and then you've got A, O and M. The A stands for automatic. So once the van hits the temperature required, you can have this on when on electric as well. So it doesn't have to just be because you've got the gas on, you can have this on. A means it'll blow through the ductings around the van. So there's 2 at the front, there's some at the back, and there's some in the bathroom there. So A means when you have the fan on, once the van hits the temperature selected, it will cut out, and then once it drops, it'll kick back in. O means it just convects out the front of the fire, so this is more for when while camping and you don't want to waste your 12 volt on a fan, and you want to use it for other things. You'd have it convecting out the front of the fire. It still gets the van warm, but will take longer because it won't be blown down to the front and back of the van. And then M's manual, so basically it'll blow through the ducting and it won't stop. It'll continue when it hits the temperature, just providing that heat. You've got your freestanding table there, which just folds out and it lives there, so put the catch on when travelling and that'll stop it from sliding out. You've got storage underneath the bed, your large skylight above you double bed, basic. There you are. So turn this and that will open your skylight, but please keep all your skylights and windows closed when travelling or windy. And you have a blackout and fire screen on your skylight and all your windows, but your curtains are just dress curtains. You've got a TV point up there, and this is where you would fix your TV to, a bracket onto there where it's designed to hold the weight. Storage and storage underneath. Coming around here, you've got storage on this side, shelving, and just storage in there above the bed. Underneath your bed is just your access to your drawers that side, and your storage, which I've shown you from the outside on there. But your bed does push back and forward and raises the back, just so it gives you a little bit more room on it daytime to get round. Your light switches there, so one does above your cabinets, one does underneath your headboard and across there, and the other one will be your night light for underneath your bathroom door. Coming in the bathroom, so to operate your toilet, make sure the pump's on. You can then, to turn the fan off, just press it. If it starts kicking itself in, press the button, fill the toilet with water like so, and then you've got the slide, so you just push that along and it deposits your waste into the cassette. If the slide was to be left open like this, the cassette wouldn't come out. It's got to be shut, the trap door. And then on there you've got a green light. When that goes red, and it'll jump up to 2. It'll tell you how full the cassette is to indicate when it needs emptying. Storage, shower area. This is good for hanging your towels or coats or anything, or jackets, when you have been out and been caught in the rain, because the bathroom is the hottest place in the van because it's the smallest place. So when the door's shut and the heating's on, it gets lovely and toasty in here. You've got storage, and you've got your bathroom light for your mirror there. Above, skylight, push the button in, slide along. You can put it in the grooves in the summer when it's nice and you just want a nice breeze. Blackout blind and fly screen. Underneath your rear bench seat behind the driver's side is where your leisure batteries live. So you've got your extra leisure battery in the box above, and underneath you've got your main leisure battery, and there's the fuse. So if you do require to get the batteries, this one has to come off first and you can get it access to the other. And then you've got some storage space there. Make your front lounge into a double bed. Slide and slide them to meet. Drop the back cushions in, and there you have a double bed. But it is advised that you turn the cushions the other way, because you get the flat side of the cushion and you can put a sheet on. It's far easier than having the bullnose of the base cushions. But that's how you would make your front lounge into a bed. To operate your Aftec TV, so use the catch, loosen the catch off, slide it down. If you do feel that the TV won't come down, there is a lever at the back of the telly that will release the catch. Use the TV remote, press to the red button in the top, which is a magic eye. It'll go blue. Wait for the TV to come on. When you do move sites, you will have to retune your telly. To do that, press AQT, press and hold like so. I'll ask you what country you're in. It's automatically set to the UK. Just press OK, and basically it's going to do an auto search, find as many channels as it can in your area. If you fail to find TV, or you want to put a DVD on, press source. And you can change it to a DVD. Ready?
Yeah.
To operate your large front hecky roof light, push the catches in on the levers of the arms of the, and then use the winder and wind. This will then open the skylight and allow a breeze in. Once you're finished with it, shut it. Don't travel with it open, it isn't a sunroof. Got to be closed. Lock the arms in, and then you do have at the front a fly screen and a blackout light to black the whole area off on the night time. In the cupboard behind the driver's seat, the rear overhead locker, you have your electrical consumer unit. So this just is duplicated on the control panel. In here you've got all your 12-volt fuses, which are all then listed up here. It is a good idea to go and buy some spare blade fuses so that if you do get a problem you can just isolate and fix your power supply. And then up here you need these switches on. So this one does your charger, so this puts the power between the leisure and engine. Space heater is your central heating, and the water heater. If they aren't working, check here first to make sure these lights are on. They'll only work on 240 electric hookup. Below you've got all your 230, 240 circuit breakers, so same as your house. So if you do trip, check here first and then check the site. On here you've got your build number, so this is the number unique to your vehicle. So if you need any parts or anything, quote this number and they'll be able to find when your vehicle was built, what part is required for your vehicle when speaking with Water Trail. And then further back in the cupboard you've got your TV booster on the back there to boost your signal should you need it, and your TV aerial. So when travelling, make sure it's down in the vehicle, and when you arrive at site you can push it up and use the toggle to turn the aerial round on the roof. But the best tip is look where the other motorhomes and caravans are pointing, and you should get a TV signal. Once inside the cab, I will now go through all your cab controls, which are in your handbook as well. You've got your main head unit, so this is AM and FM radio on radio, or you can press media, which can be a CD, or down the bottom here you have USB and auxiliary inputs. You've got your nav, so you can navigate to set place. You can set your house. I wouldn't advise you do set your home address. I'd advise you put somewhere near your home, just in case they do steal your motorhome and they know where you live. But this is just a TomTom Van Pacific sat nav, so it isn't Motorhome Pacific, but it is van, so it will do the job. Phone, pair of phone, yes. I'll ask you to find Uconnect and make sure the pins match. Once you have done that on your device, then it'll ask if you want to sync your contacts. Just press yes, and then you are loaded in. You can then use your Bluetooth to stream music instead of connecting it. More, you've got your clock, your outside temperature and your trips, so you can view your trips on here as well as on the dash in between the speedo and rev count. You can turn the screen off if you want, so if you've got the radio on a night instead of the TV and the screen is a bit bright, you can turn the screen off until you touch it, it'll come back on. You've got mute, you've got your volume, you've got your settings all in here, which is all explained in your handbook, so you can restore settings. But on the radio you can press, you've got 3 buttons here, you can press to save, or you can press and you can get up to 12 stations saved there. Below you've got your heating, so you've got your temperature, your fan speed. It must be on at least one or more for the aircon to work, which is in the middle. The aircon then does surface the box at the top, which you can put any of your snacks in there, so your sweets, chocolate, little cans of pop for the road, instead of having them in the fridge. That's a good place to put them. And then you do have your distribution and your circulation. Coming down to the buttons on the front of the dash, you've got your heated mirrors, so these are good for when your mirrors are wet or misty. You've got your button here which locks all 3 doors, so both cab doors and habitation door, but it doesn't lock the garage or any locker doors. You must do that manually, but it does have central locking on the habitation door. So on a night, just click the button and you're all locked in. You've got your hazards, you've got your hill descent control, which is pretty much useless on a manual gearbox because it's designed for automatics. You'd slow yourself down with the gears. And you've got your traction control, so you can turn your traction control off. So if you've been on a site and it's rained overnight and you're on a grass pitch instead of a hard standing pitch, turn your traction control off to get out instead of your wheels spinning. You've got 2 decent sized cup holders there. You've got a USB for charging and a 12 volt. You've got your glove box there. And on this motorhome, it is fitted with gas flow, and your gas flow adapters are in there, and some spare locks for the car doors. You've got your gearbox, so it's up, over and left, and your reverse camera works there. That'll only come on when in reverse, you can't have that on when travelling forward. And then coming round to the drivers, so on the wheel there you've got all your steering wheel controls. So you've got your mute, volume, you've got an assistance there so you can speak to it. You've got your hands-free and you can scan through your radio channels. To this side you've got your cruise control, speed limiter, lights and indicators, and your wipers that side with your trip computer on. So if I click this button here, I'll go through this screen here. So your instant consumption, your average speed, your time travelled, you've got trip A and B, so it's got 2 of them. And then coming down to the driver's side right, you've got your fog lights and your headlight adjustment, your mirror adjustment, so it does the top and the bottom, which is your blind spot, your electric windows, which locks the doors, and your handbrake. And then you've got your blackout blinds on your cab windows and your windscreen. They are just magnetic, so just clip in the middle. So good tip is to put something around here if it is going to be a windy night, because they might ping open, and that's something you don't want. And then you've got your carb reading lights, which work when the control panel's on, and these are your main ones. And obviously it's got a sticker for your height and for your campus's number. Now underneath the bonnet, this is your secondary catch there, just below, above the Auto Trail badge. You've got your main paint coat here, which is a standard Fiat colour. You've got your weight plate when it was a Fiat chassis cab, and your secondary conversion, so it's 4250 gross vehicle weight. If you were to use anything on that tow bar, you can tow up to 5.5 tonne, which is the vehicle and whatever you're towing combined. Here is your earth for a jump start, and down here is your positive. Normally this cover would be over it, so put a screwdriver or key in there if it is locked, and then you can pull it back and put your jump leads on there for giving or receiving a bump start. Here is your oil filler and dipstick for checking your oil, and then these covers lift off for all your mechanical services. So you've got your brake fluid, radiator fluid, and the main one you're going to need is your screen wash in the corner there, and that is underneath your bonnet.